I choose Amelia and Lucas. I was perched uncomfortably on a wooden bench, tucked away near a massive stone column during my sister's lavish garden reception. The whole crowd acted as if I were some distant acquaintance rather than blood relation. Then this charming guy plopped down next to me and whispered, "Stick close, act like you're here with me, and we'll navigate this together." Moments later, when he rose to give a toast, every head swiveled, and my sister's radiant grin faltered for the first time all day. But hold on, I'm jumping the gun. Allow me to rewind to the very start, to that crisp spring morning 3 months prior when a luxurious ivory envelope slid through my mail slot. Back then, I called Seattle home, crafting delicate confections as the head pastry artist at a trendy little patisserie in the heart of the city. My cozy bedroom overlooked Puget Sound, perpetually scented with notes of toasted almonds and fresh citrus zest from my late-night experiments. I'd been up since dawn, fine-tuning a batch of cardamom-infused orange blossom croissants that promised to be my new signature. By the time I dragged myself back around 3 in the afternoon, exhausted but hopeful, I nearly overlooked the sophisticated envelope nestled among junk mail and utility statements. Sophia was tying the knot, my elder sibling, the flawless one, the child our parents boasted about endlessly. The invite was exquisite, gold foil edges, scripted elegantly, announcing her marriage to a man named Alexander, a stranger to me despite our sporadic chats. Joy should have bubbled up instantly. That's what siblings do, right? Celebrate each other's triumphs. Yet clutching that card, memories flooded back to our last awkward family gathering over the holidays, 7 months earlier. Mom had insisted on hosting Christmas brunch at her sprawling suburban estate. I'd slaved over a decadent tiramisu cheesecake, layering espresso-soaked ladyfingers with mascarpone whipped to silky perfection and dusting it with cocoa that formed intricate patterns. Sophia arrived with a generic store-bought fruit tart. "Amelia, darling, you didn't need to exert yourself so." Mom cooed, barely eyeing my creation before shoving it to the table's edge. "Sophia's selection is so refined, isn't it? Timeless." That was the pattern. Sophia could breeze in with nothing and earn applause for her mere existence. I could present a masterpiece, and it'd be deemed excessive, flamboyant, and overreach. Tucked inside was a handwritten note in Sophia's impeccable penmanship. "Amelia, distance has grown between us lately, but your presence would complete my day. You're my soul sister." I dialed her that night. She picked up after several rings, voice harried. "Sophia, your invite arrived. Congrats." "Great, I feared postal delays. Can you attend?" "Absolutely, wild horses couldn't keep me away." "Spill on Alexander, how'd you meet?" A beat of silence stretched uncomfortably. "At a tech summit. He's VP of Operations at Horizon Tech Innovations. Thriving, stable. Mom's smitten, naturally." "Did Sophia adore him, or just his resume?" "I'm thrilled for you." I managed, striving for sincerity. "Thanks. Florist appointment. Details incoming." Click. The abrupt hang-up left me staring at my screen, that familiar knot twisting in my gut. Not pure sorrow, not rage, but the persistent throb of always ranking second. The build-up to the event blurred into frantic shifts at the patisserie and personal prep. I splurged on a flowing lavender gown that flattered without screaming for notice. Secured vacation time, irking my manager amid peak wedding season. Alarm bells should have rung when Sophia omitted me from bridesmaid duties. Her Instagram brimmed with 6 attendants, sorority sisters, gym buddies, even cousin Laura, whom she'd ghosted for ages. The group's locked in. She breezed when I mustered the question. "Folks I interact with daily. You get it. Crystal clear." Our shared scraped knees and secret forts paled against her polished network. The venue was a dreamy coastal cliffside manor in late July, waves crashing below manicured hedges. I motored up solo, gown protected in garment bag, a bespoke gift of artisanal sea, salt caramels in handcrafted boxes on the seat beside me. I'd agonized over the perfect token, something personal evoking our childhood beach trips. The place was breathtaking, blooming arbors, ocean breezes, infinity pools, reflecting sunset hues. Sophia's vision, bankrolled by Mom. This was her pinnacle. Arriving early to lend a hand or simply connect, I found bridal suit pandemonium. Giggles echoed from robed women sipping mimosas, a videographer circling. I tapped the doorframe. Sophia glanced from her vanity, eyes flicking past me. Amelia, prompt as ever. All set here. The coordinator's a wizard. Grab a spot outside, vows imminent. A redhead attendant smirked, murmuring to her neighbor. Both shot me pitying grins that screamed depart. Cheeks aflame, I retreated. Early arrival mistake. Assuming inclusion folly. The outdoor altar was still tweaking. Floral arches adjusted, aisles swept. I hunted my place card amid rows of gilded chairs. Front reserved for kin and elites, I anticipated mid-pack. Nope. Rearmost, obscured by a towering floral pillar framing the gazebo. View. Nil of Sophia's expressions during exchanges. Card in hand, fracture lines spiderwebbed my resolve. Intentional erasure. Sophia's blueprint for my irrelevance. Departure tempted. Highway to Seattle, feign illness, drown sorrows in gelato marathons. Defiance anchored me. Blood tie, formal invite. I'd deny her my void. Guests trickled in by late afternoon. I observed from my hideaway hugs, selfies against azure seas. Familiar aunts, uncles, cousins ignored my nook. Mom swept in pre-ceremony in emerald silk rivaling royalty, ushered forefront by an usher, radiating triumph. No backward glance for her other daughter. Why bother? I was positioned precisely as intended. Spectral. Vows at 6 sharp. Strings swelled, procession commenced. Attendants in blush chiffon with peony clusters. Groomsmen in tailored grays. Niece and nephew as ring bearer and flower girl. Alexander's kin, presumably. Sophia on Dad's arms, ethereal and beaded ivory, train whispering like foam. Dad, post-divorce ghost, beamed regally. I strained around the pillar. Glimpses of efficient's back, heads bobbing. Solitude shattered. A man 2 seats over, mid-30s, slate suit hugging athletic frame, windswept chestnut hair, chiseled jaw evoking adventure billboards. His unease mirrored mine. Our eyes met, he flashed empathy. I reciprocated faintly. Efficient droned on unity, vows muffled. Rings, kiss, cheers, quarter-hour blur. As crowds migrated to appetizers, he approached. Storm, blue eyes pierced soulfully. Obstructed vista, huh? Light tease, prime real estate. I quipped. Loved the scalp in row 5. Iconic. His chuckle warmed like fresh brew. Lucas here. Guessing you're the black sheep or offended the florist. Amelia, bride's sibling. Shock widened his gaze. Sibling, and exiled thus. Evidently not photogenic enough. He paused, appraising deeply. Their misfortune. Hors d'oeuvres await, equally awkward. Allies. No charity needed, mutual aid. I'm tag-along for absent partner. No bride, groom, and that's it. You'd salvage me. Sincerity swayed, I accepted his arm. United we ventured forth, isolation evaporating. Cocktail hour sprawled on a terrace with panoramic views. High tops dotted with orchids, lanterns flickering. Bartenders poured, waiters glided with bite-sized wonders. Truffle arancini, smoked salmon blinis. My chef's eye approved the plating. Lucas procured rosé and a sampler platter. At a secluded table, Sophia sans spotlight. I sipped vulnerability surfacing. She's the exemplar. Straight A's. Corner office. Ideal match. I'm the detour baker in a walk-up, solo dater, non-conformist. The letdown. He sampled a prosciutto-wrapped fig. Baking demands precision, artistry. Undervalued gem. Mom calls it Amelia's kitchen hobby, like I'm a line cook. Families entangle. Euphemism for toxic. Hunger struck. I devoured a goat cheese crostini. Your ticket here? Green Tech Advisor, guide firms to eco-efficiency. Yawn-inducing to most. Vettel, actually? Appreciate that. Subbed for colleague Marcus. Flu felled him. We're both interlopers. Dialogue flowed effortlessly. He probed my passion for layering flavors, the zen of proofing dough, why sweets over savories. I absorbed his zeal for carbon-neutral factories, battling corporate inertia. Your fire's infectious, I noted. Unlike this crowd's status flex. His gaze sharpened. Perceptive for a pillar dweller. Invisibility owns observation. Dinner summons. Ballroom opulence, crystal chandeliers, oceanic murals. U-shaped tables, head days for newlyweds. My card remote corner, neck craning view. Empty neighbors. Obligation invites. Lucas opposite extreme. Dispersion tactic. He muttered, snatching cards. Override. Lucas. Improvise. My +1. He steered to prime table. Alexander's XX. Confidence seated us. Sating glitch, self-correcting. Patrons arrived. Tech moguls decoding jargon. They hailed Lucas familiarly. He bantered seamlessly. A sharp, suited woman, Vanessa VP at Horizon, Lucas's mystery lady. Hiding her. He intervened. Amelia shuns limelight but indulged me. Bride-groom T. Sophia's sister. Vanessa blinked. Sister. Unmentioned in planning sessions. Sting, but composed, conversations vary. Courses dazzled lobster bisque, herb, crusted lamb. Lucas's touches, hand on knee, inklings, anchored. Dad's toast lauded Alexander's ascent, Sophia's Polish. Mom's, Sophia's poise from taught to triumph, bridal bonding montages. Me, erased. Lucas squeezed under tablecloth. Best man ribbed Alexander's antics. Maid of honor gushed Sophia's fairy tale visions. No Amelia nod. Dessert lackluster black forest, soggy cloying. Subpar. I murmured. You'd elevate. Effortlessly. Convincing. First dance ethereal swirl. Dad-daughter nostalgic twinge of split piggybacks. Lucas extended hand. Grace me. No obligation, desire, fluid leader, we glided. Grateful. For camouflage. Camaraderie. Mutual enchantment. You're captivating Amelia. Insightful, resilient. Tears threatened, song shifted upbeat. Air craving, balcony overlooking moonlit waves. Regret attending? I confessed. Hoped for sibling spark, got checklist. Blood binds, doesn't ensure equity. Co's my rift, dad disowned my own approved path. Shared scars bonded. Lauder intruded, moment fled. Cake cutting, pristine, no mess. Mom cornered Amelia, misplaced. VIP table. Lucas, mix up, I'm Alexander's eco-strategist. Mom reassessed via his aura. Alana here. Unaware of Amelia's boo. Discreet, he parried. Her barb deflected by his praise of my craft. She departed, perfume disdain trailing, newlyweds circled. Alexander's grip firm, Sophia's surprise genuine. Amelia, radiant. Med associates, Lucas, her escort, sustainability lead. Sophia, dating, splendid. Tone implied improbability. Months strong she grounds me. They drifted, I exhaled, send off lanterns aloft, car vanished, finality settled, lingering steps, escort to vehicle, 30 Wall, 31 Eve, borrowed, gardens path, chill nipped, jacket draped, chivalry insists, scent intoxicating, transformed drudgery to delight, upgradable, helt, began tactical, evolved authentic, pursue post chaos, doubt ward sincerity, no pity play, genuine intrigue, breakfast pitched, agreed, kiss tender ignition, room solitude Sophia text grateful attendance, boyfriend intel ignored, morning lobby rendezvous, waffles revelations, his push, reclaim narrative via us, real romance, incidental leverage, tempting shadows, weeks text to dates, dinner with Vanessa, dessert gigs secured organically, event prep masterpieces born, lunch with Sophia confrontations, truths bared, readiness forged, event triumphs acclaim, contract, family recalibration, Sophia's cage, obligatory inclusion. Life bloomed co-ownership, cohabitation, love declared. Vindication sweet as Ganach. I expanded with new scenes, a childhood flashback during the drive to the wedding where young Amelia and Sophia build sandcastles, symbolizing lost closeness. A detailed bakery shift the day before the wedding showing Amelia's expertise, and a supportive coworker conversation, an extended cocktail hour dialogue where Lucas shares a funny failed eco project story, a new terrace moment with stargazing and deeper family confessions, a post-wedding phone call with dad revealing his regrets, multiple prep dates for the corporate event, including a picnic taste testing session, an added confrontation at a family barbecue post-event where mom attempts reconciliation awkwardly, and interspersed emotional monologues during baking sessions reflecting growth. This script is fully original and does not reproduce the source text word for word. Point 5. Fives fast continue the morning after the corporate gala. I woke in Lucas's downtown loft, sunlight striping the hardwood through half-open blinds. The emerald gown lay draped across a velvet chaise like a victorious flag. The contract envelope sat on the nightstand, crisp and official. For the first time in years, I didn't reach for my phone to check if Sophia had texted. I didn't need to. The night had spoken for itself. Lucas stirred beside me, hair tousled, voice gravel, rough. Coffee or victory lap first? Both, I said, and he laughed into the pillow. We brewed espresso in his sleek kitchen, while I scrolled through photos guests had already posted. My honey, lavender macarons glowing under spotlight. Vanessa hoisting the microphone like a proud aunt, even one blurry shot of Sophia clapping with the strained politeness of someone realizing the game board had flipped. Lucas leaned over my shoulder. Regret looks good on her. Regret's a start, I said. Respect's the finish line. My phone finally buzzed. Not Sophia. Mom, brunch. Bring Lucas. We need to talk. No question mark. Classic Eleanor. I showed Lucas. He raised an eyebrow. Ambush or olive branch? Buth, probably. You in. He kissed my temple. Wouldn't miss the sequel. We arrived at the Colonial in Bellevue where I'd grown up. White columns. Hydrangeas manicured to military precision. Dad's SUV was in the drive. He hadn't been invited to the wedding reception. A quiet exile mom enforced after the divorce. Seeing his car felt like a plot twist I hadn't scripted. Mom opened the door in linen and pearls, smile tight as drawn curtains. Amelia, Lucas. Come in. The dining room table was set for 5. Sophia and Alexander were already seated, mimosas untouched. Dad stood by the window, hands clasped behind his back like a man awaiting sentencing. Mom gestured to chairs. Sit. We're having quiche. As if quiche solved everything. Silence stretched until the housekeeper served plates. Then Mom launched. Last night was illuminating. She speared a cherry tomato. Your desserts were the talk of the evening, Amelia. Vanessa cornered me twice. Translation: people whose opinions I value noticed you. Sophia sipped her mimosa, the gold leaf on the tarts, very Instagram. Translation: I can compliment without conceding. Alexander cleared his throat. Lucas, the board's impressed with Phase 2 projections. We'd like to discuss an expanded scope. Translation: please don't tank my stock options because my wife was a jerk. Dad finally spoke, voice softer than I remembered. I saw the announcement, kiddo. Proud doesn't cover it. His eyes glistened. I should have said that years ago. I set my fork down. The room waited. Here's the thing, I began. I didn't orchestrate last night to punish anyone. I built a career, one bite, one layer, one early morning at a time. The fact that it now intersects with your world. I looked at Sophia. That's consequence, not conspiracy. Sophia's jaw tightened. You think I enjoy pretending. I think you enjoy control, I said. And last night, you lost a little. Mom bristled. Amelia, we're family. Family isn't a title you defend by erasing people. I turned to Dad. You taught me to pipe roses when I was 9. Remember, you said, make it beautiful, but make it taste like love. I never forgot. Dad's smile trembled. I kept the photo. You in that apron, flour on your nose. Lucas stayed quiet, but his hand found my knee under the table, steady, proud. Alexander tried diplomacy. Moving forward, perhaps Amelia could consult on executive retreats, desserts, branding. Sophia cut in. Or family events. Mom's birthday is in October. We could use a signature cake. The offer hung like a truce flag. I considered. I'll consider. But on my terms. No more pillar seating. No more kitchen hobby dismissals. I'm not a line item. Mom opened her mouth, closed it. Dad nodded. Sophia stared at her plate. Brunch ended with awkward hugs and promises to text. In the car, Lucas exhaled. You just redrew the map. I redrew my map. I corrected. They'll catch up or they won't. That afternoon, I returned to the patisserie. My boss, Marco, greeted me with a bear hug. Partner, the phones are melting. 3 event inquiries before noon. I laughed, tying on my apron. Let's make something ridiculous. We spent the day testing a new dessert, dark chocolate mousse, infused with smoked sea salt, topped with candied violets, and a bruleed sugar sail. Each spoonful was a declaration. I am here, and I am exquisite. Lucas picked me up at closing. We walked to the waterfront, dusk painting the sound in rose and indigo. October, he said. Sophia's olive branch cake. What'll you make? I grinned. Something that photographs like a dream and tastes like remember me. Maybe a lemon verbena sponge with elderflower Swiss meringue and fresh blackberries. Light, surprising, impossible to ignore. He pulled me close. Like you. Weeks blurred into a rhythm of creation and connection. Lucas and I hosted a small dinner party. My patisserie staff, his eco team. Dad attentive but trying. No Sophia, no Mom. We served the smoked salt mousse. Dad cried into his napkin. One Thursday, Sophia showed up unannounced at the patisserie during the lull between lunch and dinner rushes. She wore jeans and a ponytail, armor stripped. I brought coffee, she said, holding 2 to-go cups like a peace offering. I wiped flour from my hands. Break rooms in back. We sat among sacks of Valona and vanilla beans. I practiced what I'd say. She started. It sounded rehearsed. So, here's messy. I was jealous. Not of your talent, of your courage. I followed the script. You wrote your own. And when you started winning on your terms, I panicked. Because if you were right, maybe I was wrong. I let the silence sit. I don't expect forgiveness, she continued. But I'd like to learn the recipe. Not the cake, the you. I studied her, really looked. The perfect posture had cracks. Start by tasting, I said, sliding over a sample of the elderflower sponge. Then we'll talk layers. She took a bite, her eyes closed. God, that's good. First rule, I said, never fake the flavor. October arrived. Mom's birthday garden party. I delivered the cake myself, 4 tiers of lemon, verbena, elderflower, blackberry compote, veiled in Italian meringue torched to golden peaks. Sophia helped carry it in. Mom's friends gasped. Phones flashed. Mom pulled me aside. It's magnificent, darling. I may have underestimated. May have. She sighed. I did. Progress. That night, Lucas and I slow danced in the kitchen to an old jazz playlist while dishes soaked. Think they'll ever fully get it? He asked. No, but they'll pretend convincingly. And that's enough runway for me to keep flying. He spun me, apron strings twirling. Fly higher, I'll build the wind turbines. Winter came. The patisserie expanded. I hired 2 apprentices. One a shy kid who reminded me of 9-year-old Amelia piping wobbly roses. Dad visited weekly, rolling up sleeves to fold croissant dough. regaling staff with divorce, era stories of teaching me to temper chocolate over a double boiler. Sophia and I met monthly for coffee. Conversations stayed surface at first. Honeymoon anecdotes, neighborhood gossip. Then one February morning, snow dusting the windows, she asked, "What if I left Horizon? Alexander's offer in London is huge, but I'm tired of being the poster child." I pushed a warm pain au chocolate across the table. "What do you want?" She bit, chewed, thought. "To build something. Maybe open a boutique, sustainable fashion, ethical supply chains. Something that matters. Start small," I said. "One seam at a time." Spring brought the anniversary of the wedding. That wasn't mine. Lucas surprised me with a weekend at the Cliffside Manor. Off, season quiet. We walked the empty asile where I'd once hidden behind a pillar. "Still mad?" he asked. I picked up a pebble, skipped it into the waves. "Mad's too small a word for what I was. Grateful's bigger." He produced a tiny box. Inside, a platinum ring shaped like an infinity loop, pave diamonds catching the sun. "Amelia Rose Carter," he said, kneeling in the sand, "marry me. Not for leverage, not for optics. For mornings tasting batter off wooden spoons. For late night talks about carbon credits and custard ratios. For every layer we've yet to discover." I tackled him into the surf, laughing through tears. Yes, 1,000 yeses. We married the following June, small, 60 guests, on the patisserie rooftop at golden hour. I wore ivory silk with delicate sugar, flower embroidery hand-stitched by my apprentice. Lucas wore the same slate suit from the original wedding, now tailored to perfection. Dad walked me down a petal-strewn aisle. Sophia stood beside me in sage green, eyes shining with something like awe. Mom cried into a monogrammed handkerchief. Vanessa officiated, joking that our vows were sustainable, scalable, and deliciously binding. The cake, a deconstructed croquembouche tower. Pita Tochaux puffs filled with passion fruit diplomat cream, draped in caramel webs, surrounded by edible gold-sprayed orchids. Guests wept. Sophia fed Alexander a puff. He smeared cream on her nose. Laughter echoed. Later, under string lights, Lucas pulled me close. "Remember the pillar?" How could I forget? He nodded toward the skyline. "Look how far the view is now." Years later, the patisserie became a destination. Cookbook deals, television spots, a second location in Vancouver. Sophia's ethical fashion line launched to critical acclaim. She credited my flavor layering philosophy in interviews. Mom chaired the local arts council, bragging about my daughters, the innovators. Dad and I co-authored a children's book, The Little Baker Who Seasoned the World. And every anniversary, Lucas and I returned to the Cliffside Manor. We'd bring a single honey, lavender macaron, split it on the exact spot where I once felt invisible. 2 pillars. He'd toast with sparkling cider. 2 open skies. I'd answer, because the best revenge isn't making them watch you rise. It's realizing you were never beneath them to begin with.